welcome back to my channel. It's Marissa Explains It All. Today I am doing a review of the Crunchi Beautifully Flawless Foundation. This video was requested by my mother-in-law, so shout out to Mama M. So if this sounds interesting to you, stay tuned and I'll be right back. So if you haven't heard of Crunchi Beauty, they are a clean beauty company dedicated to keeping the toxins out of our products. It's no secret that the US does not ban a lot of the chemicals in our cosmetics, and they're not regulated by anything, and so we are just kind of applying hundreds of chemicals to our bodies every day. I try to do what I can to keep chemicals out of my life, and you can't really eliminate them completely. I appreciate companies like this one that are doing their best to try to keep toxins out of our lifestyle and help keep our bodies as clean as possible. Their products all claim to be vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, toxin-free, and made in the US, which I also appreciate. I chose the foundation to start with just to see how the base applied, but they do have a full line of makeup. Looks like they also sell bronzer, highlighter, blush, eyeshadow, eyeliners, mascara, so you could really get a full line of toxin-free makeup if you were looking for that. This particular foundation retails for $50 and is available in 11 shades. And so if you are not sure what shade you are, which I wasn't, and I didn't want to take a chance on getting the wrong color, they do sell these cards, these sample foundation cards, and so I did buy one of these. They're $3, but they actually sent me 3 in the mail, so it worked out to be $1 a piece, and you can maybe share with friends, or you could even combine the samples to really get like a full face maybe out of one of all 3 of your cards. So I thought that was a really nice option to go ahead and color match yourself beforehand. So I ended up being very light, and so I was the lightest color on this card, which is a 2.0. So I am a color number 2. So this is what it looks like out of the package. Let's take a look. And it does boast to be sustainably packaged, so if that's something that's important to you, just keep that in mind as well. So this is what the bottle looks like. You get 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters, and it is in a glass frosted bottle. So that is really pretty. It's a very nice weighted bottle, so it seems very sturdy and does not seem cheap at all. And when you take off the cap, it comes with a pump applicator. So trying this on the back of my hands, the texture seems very nice. It seems like sturdy. It doesn't run down my hand when I tilt it, so it's not runny at all. Some of foundations are a little bit more liquid. This seems like even if I move my hand, it seems like it's really in place. So it seems very creamy and very sturdy so far. And so as I am kind of dipping into it, it seems just very rich, like a rich cream. So let's check out this product on my face. All right, my hair is all tied up and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation to the back of my hand. I'm using 3 pumps here. I think it said to try 1 pump, 1.5 to 1 full pump, but that just never works out for me. I don't know if I have just like a big face, but like there's no way 1 pump is going to cover that. As I usually do with foundation reviews, I'm going to apply the product to 1/2 of my face with a brush and the other half of my face with a damp beauty blender. And so far, I haven't found a product yet that has done better with the brush than the beauty blender. I'm just really partial to the beauty blender. So I'm going to go ahead and take some dots and place it all over my face so that I get sort of an even application. All right, so this is how it's looking so far. It does feel very rich and creamy. I did start with clean and primed skin, so that is of course important. And they do recommend that you start with their primer, but I just wanted to try out the foundation today. So I'm using my typical primer that I always use. So far, I am noticing that it has very good coverage. So this is more of a medium coverage product, I believe. I think it's really covered a lot of my spots and a lot of my imperfections and things up close, so I appreciate that. Okay, that blended out beautifully. Now let's see about the beauty blender side. So right away, I'm not noticing too much of a difference with the way that the tools applied. I think they both went on beautifully. This side perhaps is a little bit more thinned out and maybe just a little bit more natural looking. This side maybe looks a little bit heavier and cakier, so maybe you don't need as much product as I put on, which I always do. But maybe that's that, or maybe that's just the tools, the difference in tools. But here's what it's looking like so far. I am noticing that it is a little bit tanner than my neck and chest, so no, but not the rest of my body. So I think it's a good shade match, but I perhaps need to get a little more sun. So I may be a little pale, or maybe I'm probably a 1.5. They do sell a shade below this, which is a 1.0, so I'm perhaps a mixture between the two, but it doesn't bother me at all. I can just kind of bronze to match, and I think it looks pretty good, pretty close. Hey y'all, Editing Marissa here. I'm editing this video and I am noticing that it is too dark. So it looks a lot different in person, but on the camera, it actually does show that it looks really pretty tan. So I acknowledge that this is not my shade. I am probably a shade 1, and it is not that great of a shade match. So I take it back. So let me see how this does with the rest of my makeup on, and I'll be right back. So I am back, and I didn't notice any issues with the way that the product's layered, and I didn't take the foundation off at all. I used mostly cream products. I didn't want to do a whole lot of powders or a whole lot of blending, so I used cream products mainly. But first impressions, I am impressed. I really love the finish of this. I didn't put any kind of setting spray on, and so what you're looking at is just the natural, aside from the highlight, is the natural finish of the product itself. And I thought it was really pretty. It looks very kind of glowy, like I said, aside from the highlight here. It just looks very nice, like skin. It doesn't look like a matte product, a super matte. Oftentimes will make skin look dull, or mature skin. It doesn't really give it that kind of life and youth and plumpness that we're looking for. And so really appreciate the shine. You can kind of see just how it looks on my forehead here as it's hitting the light. So far so good. I really love it. Let's go ahead and do a wear test. I'll wear this all day, and I'll do a couple check-ins to see how it is looking, if it's faded at all, if it breaks up in the T-zone, if I get any kind of oil showing through. Let's take a look at how it does. So here is my first check-in. This is 6 hours in, and as you can see, I am working, trying to make that money. And so it looks really good so far. It looks a lot better here because it's daylight, and of course I have no filters applied, but so far no breaking up in my T-zone and no settling in fine lines. I think the finish is beautiful and super happy with how it is looking so far. I'll check back in. So now it has been about 10 hours and I'm off work, just kind of checking in. It's worn off some of the spots on my nose where my toddler has been playing with me, but so far it's also looking great. It's still hanging in there, and I'm really happy with how it looks. Check back in. So it is the end of the night, and I'm reporting in here looking a little more tired, and I've got my mom bun happening. But I'm happy to report that in terms of final thoughts, I think this is a thumbs up in my book. I thought this wore very, very well. I didn't try not to touch it, but of course wrestling on the floor with my toddler, and he just was giving me big slobbery kisses and everything. So of course there's probably some spots where it's worn off, but let me just kind of scoot in closer and just give you a final look at how everything wore. It did a great job of sticking on there. It looks like it kind of covered the majority of my spots, and it didn't really seem to settle in my fine lines. I really didn't touch my face today, other than my toddler playing with my face, but I didn't touch it or anything like that. But it looks like everything looks pretty good to me. Overall, I am impressed with how this performed. I liked the feel of the makeup. It didn't feel very heavy. It felt kind of rich and creamy and nice and like enough coverage, but it still felt very moisturizing. And so I really liked that about it. So I'm excited about this line. I think I might have to go back and purchase more. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have you tried this brand yet, or is it something that you've been waiting to try? Happy to answer any questions if I can. And of course, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. See you next time for the next review. Bye guys.